folks, with the 48th overall pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected Cody Mauch, interior offensive lineman slash offensive tackle out of North Dakota State. Now, Evan is joining me here from Bucs Nation as well as the Cannon Fire podcast, and we want to talk about what Cody Mauch's impact is going to be as well as what his potential fit is going to be. Because right now it's 6'5", 302 pounds, Evan. It seems like he can do a lot of different things. Now, at North Dakota State, he played left tackle, started 37 games for them while over there in North Dakota State. But now coming to the NFL, at least according to size and what the buzz has been, Cody Mauch seems to be a guard. What are your thoughts and opinions about Cody Mauch, whether or not he should play tackle, play guard, maybe a combination of both, and what his potential fit may be here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line?
Yeah, so there is some thought that he will be a guard at the next level. Obviously, starting left tackle in North Dakota State, a little bit different than starting left tackle in the NFL. So, and you've seen this before with the Buccaneers, more specifically. Like Alex Kappa was drafted; he was a tackle. Luke Gedeke was drafted as a tackle. Both these guys played guard in the NFL. So, this happens a lot with smaller school guys. And as far as Mock goes, like hey, he fits in right away. Like, I mean, and there's a chance for him to start right away at whatever guard spot it may be. I'm not entirely sure exactly which one he's better at, but and Jason Lee even said so himself that right now, as he comes into the building, he is being viewed as a guard. So they're looking at him as a guard, and they're hoping that he can develop there, and the Buccaneers hopefully can have a long-term starter there. So it's interesting because they need a tackle. At least a lot of people thought they needed a tackle, and Cody Mauch maybe would have addressed that need, but they don't view him that way. So it'll be interesting to see not only how Mauch progresses, but also what their answer is at either right tackle or left tackle, wherever they decide to have Tristan Wirfs play.
And I think now, if it is ending up Cody Mauch being a guard, right, that's such a crowded room right now, right? Because you have Cody Mauch, you have Luke Gedeke, who they literally just took in the second round last year. You have Robert Hainsey, who they just took a couple of years ago at center slash guard position, right? You re-signed Nick Leverett, you re-signed Aaron Stinney, you signed Matt Filer in free agency. That's six guys there alone, Evan, competing
Yeah.
for two starting guard spots. Now you've got to assume that two of those guys might move around along the offensive line. Is that a pretty fair thing to say there?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about it, the Bucks like versatility there, right? So Matt Filer's played tackle and guard before. We obviously know Cody Mauch's played tackle and guard before. Luke Gedeke's played tackle and guard before, so that helps, and that helps their chances of making the team. But guys like Stinney and even like Leverett, and a Hainsey, but Hainsey can play a little bit of center, so that helps him as well. But guys like Hainsey, Leverett and Stinney, they're gonna have to play well because they're really just guards, and especially in Stinney's case, coming off of a major injury, it's gonna be a tough sledding for him, because it's gonna be a battle, and that's just they're gonna have great depth there now at that position. So that's the good news, but the bad news is they might have to cut a pretty good football player at some point.
Well, let's talk about that word depth, right? Because what do you view Cody Mauch as right now coming into the Buccaneers? Do you view him as a depth guy? Do you view him as a starter? Because Luke Gedeke, he was battling for that starting job last year
Mhm.
against Nick Leverett, and he won it at the start. That didn't go well, and he was eventually benched for Nick Leverett. So, are the Buccaneers going to go with that type? And obviously, we don't know what Cody Mock's going to be yet, but
Mhm.
are they going to go ahead and say, "Hey, we took this guy in the second round to play guard. We're going to have him compete and be a starting guard here moving forward"? Or do you kind of view him more as a depth guy right now because he grades out, at least according to the NFL Network, as a guy who will eventually be a plus starter for a team?
Yeah, and though you use the word eventually, and that's the thing. Is he a day one guy? And with those small school guys, you never know. Like Ali Marpet was, Alex Cappa wasn't. Like people don't remember, Alex Cappa wasn't very good in his first two seasons in Tampa Bay. It wasn't until that third season that he really started to catch on. Um, we'll see. And It's a tough question to answer without seeing him play, because I think in an ideal world, sure, like you just picked him in a second round, like you want that guy to be your starter. You want him to be your starting guard, week one, but like Luke Gedeke was a starting guard and it didn't work out. Like it didn't work out, and the jury's still out on Luke Gedeke, but like a lot of people are a lot more sour on him now because of his play at guard. So if Mock struggles at guard, do you pull the plug? Do you let him go through growing pains? I think it is a different scenario because the Buccaneers aren't necessarily in a championship win now window. I think that's a little bit of a different scenario. I think if Tom Brady wasn't on the team last year, maybe they just let Gedeke go. Maybe they just let him just trial by fire, basically. It'll be interesting to see how they treat Mock because, like I said, the circumstances are now different to where this young player could get more playing time. So we'll have to wait and see. And it's good to have depth, but at the same time, it does raise some questions about, where other guys fit along this offensive line.
I will say this: if your starting three on the interior does end up being Cody Mauch, Luke Gedeke, and Ryan Jensen, at least in terms of like grittiness, that is a
Yeah. I just don't
tough
know.
three guys in the middle there.
Like I think Hainsey would have the inside track over a guy like Gedeke though, because like to me this would signal that they have real interest in moving Gedeke to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, really, we're talking about their interior depth, right? And I know we're getting a little off topic here, but you're talking about their interior depth. Look at their tackle depth. It's not a whole lot. Like it's
Well,
Tristan Wirfs, and then it's Matt Filer, but
potentially
Matt
Matt
Filer can
Filer.
also be guard. It's Tristan Wirfs and then a bunch of dudes who might be able to play guard or tackle. That's
Right.
it. Like,
And that's why we're talking about that impact and what that fit may be because it does matter. Well, guys get moved around. There's a pretty big log jam at that guard position right now, which is what
mhm.
makes this type of video notable to make because you need to know where these guys are going to fit in and what the impact is going to be and who's going to get moved around potentially because it is important and we have to wait and see what's going to happen and where the Buccaneers view a lot of these guys because quite frankly they have a lot of guys that are projected to be guards right now, 6 of them. So you imagine a couple of them are going to move to the tackle positions, be it a Matt Filer, be it a Luke Gedeke. And if Tristan Wirfs moves over to left tackle, who knows what's going to happen at that point? So it's going to be interesting. The Bucs have invested a lot in their offensive line. I don't think people have really kind of looked at that enough, right? You took Tristan Wirfs in round 1, you took Luke Gedeke in round 2, you took Robert Hainsey in round 3, not
That's 3 years in a row.
flip the order, and now
That's
you've
that's
taken
3 years
Cody
in a
and
row.
now you've taken Cody Mauch in round 2.
4.
That's 4 years in a row you have invested a first, a second, or a third round pick in your offensive line. That is notable and that matters. The Bucs are certainly investing in their offensive line here, folks, and they've continued it now with the Cody Mauch pick. So let us know your thoughts and opinions about what you feel Cody Mauch's impact is going to be and where his fit is going to be along this Buccaneers offensive line. Because right now they've got a logjam at that guard position. Who's going to move around? Who's going to be labeled as what? A lot of that's going to get figured out in training camps, voluntary workouts, and things along those lines. So go check out Evan's work over at bucksnation.com. Go check it out over at the Can of Fire podcast whenever they do decide to upload podcasts. And we would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions about this again down in the comment section below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, folks, we'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.